Nice to meet you.
Oh, wonderful. Lovely to meet you. Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah. I can leave you. There is this like a traditional. We have like a welcoming with a bread and so.
Oh, excellent.
You know, so I mean.
I just skip. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Excellent. Hello, how are you? That's good. Really well, thank you.
Amanda Rišvort, stand before you on behalf of Serbian community. I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land we own today, the Bunurong people of the Kulin Nation, and pay respect to their elders past, present, and emerging. We recognize and respect their continuing connection to the climate, culture, country, and waters. I also extend the respect to Aboriginals and the Torres Strait Islander people here today. We extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guests who have graced us with their presence. Today, we are privileged to have you with us. The Honourable Amanda Rišvort, MP, Federal Minister of Social Services. Also today we have with us His Excellency Mr. Rade Stefanović, Ambassador of the Republic of Serbia to the Commonwealth of Australia. Councillor Lana Formosa, Mayor of the City of Greater Dandenong. Reverend Presbyter Alexander Savić, Dean. Ms. Silvana Vukadinović, President, Serbian Community Association of Australia. And Ms. Alexandra Jović, Assistant Manager, Serbian Social Services and Support. We extended our gratitude to our esteemed guests for taking time to mark this occasion of entry into force of Social Security Agreement between Australia and Republic of Serbia. I will just address them in Serbian, just a few words. Dobro jutro. Želim da vas pozdravim i zahvalim svima što ste došli da prisustvujete ovom svečanom događaju kojim će se obeležiti stupanje na snagu Sporazuma o socijalnoj sigurnosti između Australije i Republike Srbije. Naši počasni gosti su ministarka za socijalne usluge, časna Amanda Rišvort, njegova ekscelencija gospodin Rade Stefanović, ambasador Republike Srbije, gradonačelnica grada Dandenonga Lana Formosa, protojere Aleksandar Savić, predsjednica Udruženja Srpske zajednice Silvana Vukadinović i pomoćnica direktora Srpskog socijalnog servisa i saradnje Aleksandra Jović. Također, danas isto imamo sa nama senatora za Viktoriju, senata Rafčkone. Also, not to forget to mention, today we have a senator, state member of parliament, Raf, I hope I pronounce this correct, Chicone or Pichone, whichever way, right? Sorry. Okay, I would like you all now, please, to stand for the national anthems of Australia and Republic of Serbia. Thank you. The Reverend Presbyter Alexander Savić-Din to address us first.
Thank you. Hello everyone. As your host today, I want to greet you all and welcome you all on behalf of the clergy, the entire Serbian community in this part of Australia, and also on behalf of our church school community in Kizborou and surrounding areas. Thank you all for being here today. We can proudly say that we are one of the largest Serbian communities in Australia. We are trying to do everything in our power to make our people and this institution prosper here and thus contribute to the entire Australian society. We have done a lot of work alone, but there was no lack of support from friends. Our greatest friend is this country where many of our compatriots have found their new home and new life. But they have not forgotten their country of birth, Serbia. This makes us even richer because we have two countries where we feel equally good. This confirms the very reason for which we gathered here today, the document that was signed between Australia and Serbia, about which our distinguished guest will tell us more. Today we have a great honor and a rare opportunity to have as distinguished guests His Eminence Mr. Rade Stefanović, Ambassador of the Republic of Serbia to the Commonwealth of Australia, Federal Senator for Victoria Rade Stefanović, and we are especially honored to have the Honorable Amanda Rišvort, MP, Minister of Social Services of Australia with us today. We wish you a pleasant stay here with us today. Once again, thank you and welcome.
Thank you very much. Now, I would like to invite Ms. Silvana Vukadinović, President of Serbian Community Association of Australia. Thank you. Welcome and in Serbian dobrodošli. I would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the land we are on today, the Bunurong people of the Kulin Nation, and pay my respect to their elders past, present and emerging. We recognise and respect their continuing connections to climate, culture, country and waters. I also like to extend that respect to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here today. I'd like to welcome our distinguished guests, the Honourable Amanda Rišvort, MP, Minister of Social Services of Australia, His Excellency Mr. Rade Stefanović, Ambassador of the Republic of Serbia to the Commonwealth of Australia, Councillor Lana Formosa, Mayor, City of Greater Dandenong, representatives of the Serbian Orthodox Church and representatives of the Serbian Social Services and Support. The Serbian Community Association of Australia recently celebrated an incredible 30 years assisting and supporting the Serbian community in Victoria. In the early 90s, SCA played a pivotal role in providing settlement services to Serbian refugees and migrants, whose enduring contributions have significantly contributed to Australia's growth and development. We are a resilient and hard-working community and have forged settlement in this country that deserves admiration. Today's SCA directs its efforts towards supporting our ageing community through a range of initiatives, including support groups, respite, caregiver programs and palliative care. In my role as President of SCA, I'm honoured to be part of this significant occasion marking the commencement of the agreement between the Republic of Serbia and Australia on social security. And I look forward to our continued collaboration on these significant issues. Thank you to the Australian Government for their ongoing support of our community as we navigate different phases of life. Above all, I look forward to your ongoing funding of our programs and services. Thank you, Ihwala. Thank you, Simon. Now, our next guest is Ms. Alexandra Jovic, Assistant Manager of Serbian Social Services and Support.
Good morning, everyone. Well, first, I would like to thank the Honorary Amanda Rišvort, Minister for Social Services of Australia, His Excellency Rade Stefanović, Ambassador of the Republic of Serbia, Ivana Isidorović, Deputy Head of Mission, Embassy of the Republic of Serbia, Lana Formosa, Mayor of the City of Greater Dandenong, Reverends Milorad Lonča and Aleksandar Savić, and other distinguished guests, for giving us the opportunity to attend this gathering. We are very pleased as an organization to support this agreement for Serbian pensioners in Australia. Second, as a representative from Serbian Social Services and Support, through conversation with our clients, I can confirm that this agreement is of great importance for the older members of the Serbian population, as well as the younger ones and people with disability. Our organization was registered as a non-for-profit and benevolent organization from 1995. We will continue to support elderly Serbian people aged over 65 through our programs of social support group and social support individual. The initiative of Mr. Milan Kuolić, the manager of this organization, has been realized since 2000 with the efforts of our volunteers and employees. I'm happy and proud to be part of this organization and the Serbian community in general. Our goal is to continue our successful work and further contribute to the improvement of the social life of elderly Serbs in Australia. We would like to end by thanking the Australian and Serbian governments for continuing their support to the Serbian community in Australia. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, I would like to invite Councillor Lana Formosa, Mayor of City Greater Dandenong. Please come.
Uvažena, everyone, which means welcome and hello in the language of the Bunurong people of the Kula Nation. In Serbian, we say dobro jutro I dobrodošli, dragi gosti. I would firstly like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land, the Bunurong people, and pay my respect to their elders past and present. I also recognise and respect their continuing connections to climate, culture, country and waters. I would also like to acknowledge the many distinguished guests here today, including the Honourable Amanda Rišvort, MP, Minister of Social Services of Australia. We are so grateful to have you here today. His Excellency Rade Stefanović, Ambassador of the Republic of Serbia to the Commonwealth of Australia, Senator Victoria Rafčikone, Silvana Vukadinović, President of the Serbian Community Association of Australia, representatives of the Serbian Social Services and Support, Ivana Sidorović, who I finally had the pleasure of meeting today, Deputy Head of Mission Embassy of the Republic of Serbia, Department of Social Services. And of course, Reverend Prepsti Alexander Savić, Dean of the Kizborou Serbian Orthodox Church and our gracious host for having us here today, and of course my family's parish. As the first elected Greater Dandenong Mayor of Serbian origin, don't let my surname fool you, I married an Italian. It is my pleasure to welcome you to Kizborou today to applaud the new social service agreement between the Republic of Serbia and Australia. It is fitting that we are gathered here in Greater Dandenong, one of the most multicultural communities in all of Australia, to recognise the cooperation and collaboration between the Serbian and Australian governments. By developing policy that improves access to retirement benefits for eligible people who have moved between our two countries, we have also strengthened the existing friendly relations we share. Something I won't be informing my mother about so I don't lose my full-time nanny. I'm so proud to be a leader in a community that is committed to social equity and full cultural and civic participation. I'm even prouder to be a member of a community that welcomes and celebrates the richness and relevance of global connections that our residents value and live by. Here in Greater Dandenong, our population is made up of people from all over the world. Around 154 cultures are represented. We speak 130 different languages and follow 80 different faiths. Here in Greater Dandenong, our population is made up of people from all over the world. 64% of our residents speak languages other than English, and 68% of our older residents were born overseas, and that number is expected to grow due to our ageing population. In Greater Dandenong, my mixed cultural heritage is not that unusual. I was born right here in Greater Dandenong, but both my parents were born in Serbia, with strong family ties to their homeland and deep cultural connections. This diversity is something I love about my city and the surrounding Melbourne regions. Like many other communities, our Serbian community in Australia maintains its cultural ties through the support of various Serbian services and clubs, friendship groups, sporting clubs, and attending Serbian Orthodox churches just like this one. We have worked hard to find a place in multicultural Australia, and it is with pride that we raise our children, the next generation, to respect their Serbian heritage and also respect and embrace what makes multiculturalism so precious, valuable and livable. The Social Security Agreement between the Republic of Serbia and Australia will enhance our reputation as a vibrant multicultural country that offers cultural flexibility and geographical freedom. It will also continue the special legacy of inclusion that Australia proudly represents. Once again, thank you everyone for being here, and all the very best. I mnogo hvala. Prijatno.
I would like to invite His Excellency Mr. Rade Stefanović, Ambassador of the Republic of Serbia to the Komonveltu Australija, to address us.
Dear Minister, the Honourable Amanda Rišvort MP, Minister of Social Services of Australia, Senator for Victoria Ralph Ciccone, Časni oci, Reverend Fathers, dear Councillor Lana Formoso, Mayor of the City of Greater Dandenong, Mr. Ivana Vukadilović, President of the Serbian Community Association of Australia, Mr. Milan Purić and Ms. Aleksandra Jović, Manager and Assistant Manager of Serbian Social Services and Support, Mr. Ratko Guden, President of the Pensioners Association of this parish, dragi sunarodnici, ladies and gentlemen. Veliko mi je zadovoljstvo da vas sa ovog mesta sve pozdravim u ime Ambasade Republike Srbije u Kamberi, u ime moje koleginice, gospođe Ivane Sidorović i naravno u svoje lično ime, a povodom stupanja na snagu Sporazuma između Republike Srbije i Australije o socijalnoj sigurnosti. Having in mind all our guests, please allow me to continue in English. It is my great pleasure to greet you all on behalf of the Embassy of the Republic of Serbia in Canberra, on behalf of my colleague, Ms. Ivana Sidorović, and of course on my personal behalf on the occasion of entry into the force of the agreement between the Republic of Serbia and Australia on social security. I would especially like to greet the Honourable Minister, Amanda Rišvort MP, and to thank her for being here with us today on this truly important occasion. Welcome, and I hope you will have a pleasant time with us. The signing and entry into the force of bilateral agreement of social security between Serbia and Australia has a huge importance, especially as the Honourable Minister Amanda Rišvort at the beginning of 2023 beautifully said, for the people who split their lives between Australia and Serbia or moved from one country to another. Considering the number of people of Serbian ancestry living and working in Australia, the initiative to conclude this agreement was firstly launched 15 years ago, in 2007. After several letters exchanged by the two parties, preliminary talks were held in July 2013 in Belgrade, where the two parties presented their social security systems. After almost 10 years, the negotiations have been finally successfully concluded in 2022, which enabled the agreement to be signed on 20th of January 2023 in Belgrade by the Minister of Labour, Employment, Veteran and Social Affairs of the Republic of Serbia, Mr. Nikola Selaković, and my esteemed colleague, Ambassador of Australia to the Republic of Serbia, His Excellency Mr. Daniel Emedi. After internal legislation procedure in both countries, the agreement enters into force today, on 1st of February 2024. The agreement, which would enable beneficiaries to easier exercise their social security rights and use of those rights in the territory of both parties. The agreement regulates the exercise of rights from pension and disability insurance, as well as the avoidance of double insurance for the temporarily assigned persons. Standard solutions and the principles are represented in this agreement, which enable more complete protection of the insured and the beneficiaries of the pension rights. One of the most important principles of the agreement is the principle of summing up insurance years. Namely, if the insurance period completed in the territory of one contracting party is not sufficient to exercise the right to a pension, that country will also take into account the insurance period completed in the other contracting party, with the amount of pensions being determined in proportion to the length of the insurance period in each state. Citizens of contracting party, so active insured persons, pensioners, members of their families, are equal in the use of social security rights, both in the territory of the country of employment and in the territory of the country of origin. Furthermore, in accordance with the principle of territorial equality, social security rights acquired on the basis of the legal regulations of one country can be used outside its territory, so exported, and the transfer to the countries of residence is carried out without reducing the amount of benefits. This means if our citizens who have acquired the right to a pension in Australia returns to the Republic of Serbia, Australia will continue to pay him or her pension, that it will be transferred to the Republic of Serbia without reducing the amount of benefits. Also, in accordance with the principle of determining the applicable legislation, the social insurance obligation is determined according to the regulations of the country of work, with the exception of certain categories of insured persons, like employees, self-employed persons. Additionally, workers temporarily seconded to Australia or Serbia will no longer have to pay compulsory superannuation and pension contributions in both their home country and the host country, removing the ones of double payments and improving their retirement income. So, as you can see here, there are numerous positive things, and I hope that the beneficiaries will be able to see them by themselves and exercise their rights. In conclusion, I would like to emphasize that the agreement on social security between Serbia and Australia represents one of the milestones in bilateral cooperation of our countries. It heralds further strengthening of relations between Serbia and Australia, encourages trade and investment, but also, as it has already been said, brings huge benefit for the Serbian community here, Australians of Serbian origin, and all people who have moved between two countries, who will be able easier to access and enjoy the retirement benefits. So the key beneficiaries are you, present here, but also future business, economy, and trade. I am convinced that the positive effects of this agreement will be beneficial for all, and that the agreement will provide strong impetus also to the political dialogue and exchange of high-level visits, as well as cooperation between the two countries in many other areas: economy, culture, education, science, technology, and sport. The Republic of Serbia is sincere in the wish to further improve our bilateral relations and see the Serbian community here in Australia as an important factor in this process, as a bond and a bridge of cooperation between the two countries, and cohesive factor that positively contribute to the overall atmosphere, but also potentially represent a catalyst for further development, including in the field economy. Thank you.
Please welcome the Honourable Amanda Rišvort, MP, Minister of Social Services of Australia, to address us.
Well, thank you, and I think you say Zdravo? Zdravo. It's really, really wonderful to be here, and thank you for such a warm welcome to come and be with you. And it is a celebration today because we're strengthening our relationship between Australia and Serbia. And so I think there's a lot to celebrate. I would like to acknowledge that we meet on the traditional lands of the Ghana people, the Boonwurrung people, and pay my respect to elders past and present. I would like to acknowledge His Excellency Rade Stefanović, Ambassador from the Republic of Serbia. And we were talking before, we've both been in our roles about the same period of time, 2 years. So this agreement has been 10 years in the making, but we like to think of ourselves as the people of delivery. Of course, Councillor Lana Formoso, Mayor of the City of Greater Dandenong, thank you for your welcome and your hospitality here. It's really wonderful for you to be able to join us today. Of course, Reverend Alexander Savic, Dean of St. Stephen's Serbian Orthodox Church, thank you also for hosting us today. I would like to acknowledge the great work done by the Serbian Community Association of Australia, led by President Savana Vukotovic, along with the Serbian Social Services and Support Organisation, who deliver a lot of important services on behalf of the Commonwealth as well as on behalf of the community. Well, and Senator Arhiđakon, Senator for Victoria, who is a very dear colleague, but a real champion for multicultural Australia in the Parliament, and does an enormous work. It's so wonderful for him to join. He's a new dad, just had a little baby, but we give him a clap. He has the droopy eyes because he's not sleeping at night, but a real champion for Victoria, but for multicultural Australia in the Parliament. Well, today we are gathered here to celebrate the commencement of the Social Security Agreement between Australia and the Republic of Serbia. This agreement will provide greater access to well-deserved benefits for retirees who split their lives between Australia and Serbia or have moved from one country to another. This reciprocal agreement is the result of hard work to complete treaty, legal and administrative processes in both countries to make this agreement possible. And I would like to sincerely thank all of those involved over the past 10 years who have made this a reality. With this agreement, we are helping to put retirees from both countries at ease, secure in the knowledge that they will continue to be supported throughout their retirement years. As a result of this agreement, eligible Australians and Serbians will now be able to claim their Australian age pension or the equivalent Serbian pension, regardless of whether they choose to live in Australia or Serbia. For Australian residents living in Serbia, they will have the ability to claim the Australian pension without needing to return to Australia to live. Similarly, former Serbian residents now residing in Australia will have better access to the Serbian retirement pensions. And people will also now be able to combine periods of Australian residence together with periods of pension contributions in Serbia to meet the minimum residence or contribution requirements for the Australian age pension or the Serbian pension. This will mean more retirees will be eligible to meet their 10-year residency requirements applied to the Australian pension, meaning they can access their pension sooner. This will also allow more retirees to meet the minimum contribution requirements for the Serbian old age, disability and survivor pensions as well. As this agreement commences, we keep the interests of our citizens at the forefront of our mind. As many as 1,000 people living in Australia and the Republic of Serbia will now have the choice to access the Australian pension. That's potentially 1,000 more individuals in the first 3 years of this agreement who will be able to access financial support through the age pension. Retirees will no longer have to make the difficult decision about how, when and where they will need to retire. No longer do they have to choose Serbia or Australia. This agreement does open the door to new opportunities and will also further strengthen Australia's relationship with Serbia. The Social Security Agreement provides individuals who have moved between Australia and Serbia with greater access to the pensions for both countries and maximises their personal income entitlements. And importantly, it gives people more freedom and confidence to move between Australia and Serbia, knowing their pension rights will be recognised and protected. The Serbian diaspora here in Australia is valued and important contributors, as we've already heard, to our multicultural society. There are over 25,000 residents in Australia who are born in Serbia and 95,000 Australians identifying with Serbian ancestry. The commencement of this agreement is a really important milestone in the relationship between our two countries, and I'm very, very proud that our government was able to make it happen. It's a great pleasure to be with you today, and I look forward to speaking with you more. Thank you.
Thank you. Once again, thank you all for being a part of this momentous occasion. I would also like to thank very much Serbian Pensioners Club for letting us and for organizing on such a short notice, all their volunteers and Komonveltu Australija for helping in organizing our lunch and stuff. I'll say this on Serbian so they can understand. Želim da se zahvalim penzionerskom društvu kao i sestrama i volonterima koji su pomogli da ovaj događaj ostvarimo. Hvala vam puno na vaše vreme i vašem radu. Ako imate neko pitanje za ambasadora Srbije, molim vas da ostanete duže, a ujedno pozvani ste da ostanete na ručku koji će biti poslužen 1 sat. Please stay with us longer. If you have, I would like to invite all of you. We will have a lunch served. If you have time, I know you all have a very busy schedules, but if you have time, please, we are more than happy to have you longer as our guests. So, thank you very much, and thank you for your time.
I got one question. Can I, only one question, please? My name is Vasil Anđelković Pilka. I would like to ask both of ambassador or minister, will be this agreement available in Serbian language?
There is a, I can take that, Minister Kalavi. There is an agreement, I have actually a copy, it's published in official gazette, u službenom listu Republike Srbije objavljen tekst sporazuma na srpskom jeziku, tako da postoji both languages are, so in Serbian and in English, it can be downloaded from the official gazette of the Republic of Australia. I think also the Services of Australia actually have it translated.
So, yeah, Services Australia International Branch also.
Yeah, sure. Let me just try to see. Yeah, just a second. Yeah. We initialize the mic.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, and Services Australia, which you apply for your Australian pension, the International Services Australia, the international branch will translate, but also help you work through any details and individual circumstances to enact the new agreement as well.
Just maybe to add, so basically the both countries have the competent institution who is in charge for this agreement. Services Australia here in Australia and in Serbia Zavod za penzijsko osiguranje. So there is all the forms, are in dual language, so in English and Serbian. They are basically harmonized, or we together actually created those forms to be bilingual and so easily accessible. So there is both versions, and I'm sure on the website, I think also you can find on the webpage of the Department of Social Services Australia also in Serbian language the agreement. If not, I can give you the link. I have also the copy here. It's published in official gazette, so no problem at all.
Coffee and tea is going to be served now, and also please help us out with the cake.
Sure. I will repeat what I said in Serbian. Pre svega, hoću da vam kažem da kada uvažena ministarka bude zbog svojih obaveza napustila, koleginici Nj.E. ja ćemo iz ambasade ostati i moći ćemo da razgovaramo o čemu god želite, u smislu svim drugim pitanjima, konkretnim problemima, od, da kažem, državljanstva, pasoša i svega ostalo, da sad to ne opterećuje ovaj skup, ali evo da samo da kažem ponovim ovo što sam rekao. Postoji, znači, organi za vezu koji su dve države odredile, to su Sveti Australije ovde, odnosno Zavod za penzijsko osiguranje u Srbiji. Postoje dvojezični obrazci koji ulaze u primjenu, koji su zajednički izrađeni i takvi obrazci, tekst sporazuma naravno postoji na srpskom jeziku i da je javno isto objavljen. Postoji, znači, dva jezika sporazuma, engleski i srpski, odnosno ravnopravna, tako da sva druga pitanja, da kažem, možemo da ostavimo. Prosto, da kažem, ako imate još neko pitanje, budite slobodni, da kažem, ovaj deo, da kažem, srpskih pitanja i ovaj korpusa konzulari, to ćemo ostaviti malo kasnije kada ispratimo ministarku koja inače ima želju da prosto i vas upozna, tako da budite slobodni da ostavite pitanje ili, što kažem, prosto da ovo je jedinstvena prilika da imamo federalnog ministra ovde i da žele da možete čuli s nama.
Thank you.
Hvala puno. Samo jedna mala ispravka, učak mislim da će biti poslušan ranije, 12 sati bez 1, ali evo još jedno ćemo otvoriti, tako da nećete čekati drugo, među vremenu imat ćemo kafu, ja? Hvala.